First of all, we're gonna put the dado blade in here.
Okay.
The first thing we're gonna do is get this blade out of the way. I see no one close this there's this little door here after the blade's on. You should close so the dust doesn't go flying down in the machine.
Okay.
It'll go down into the chute. Someone forgot to close that. It kind of attaches with a magnet.
Okay.
We'll need all this stuff. First I want to take this saw blade out of here and get it out of the way.
Hold on to those things. It's so hard to get them out.
Or losing nut down
Sit
there.
that on.
How many nuts have we dropped?
Oh, I hate doing that. You got it goes in the chute and now we there's a different brake for the regular saw blade and the dado blade because the dado blade's smaller and wider. So we have to take this brake off, and there's this little red knob down here. People can go look at it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I'd use this. See that little red knob down here?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta turn it up and pull it out. You turn it up and pull it out.
Okay.
That holds the brake on. Brakes kind of slide on these, on this circle and this circle. There's two pins there that hold it in place. And then that there red knob goes through that hole. Here's the dado brake. See how it's fatter? And it comes up higher so it can reach the blade. So we slide this onto two pins. A little tricky sometimes to line them up because you can't really see down in there too well.
Things gotta go on there straight.
Yeah. There it goes.
Okay. And then you replace.
And I put this in, you gotta put in like that. So over in this direction and push it down to lock it. It goes in and you push it down real good, make sure it's locked. Okay, then we're ready to get the blades out. So a day blade set has a left hand and a right hand blade. This is the one that goes on the outside. And then all these little cutters in between.
That was an ancient set.
Yeah. Now I don't know what happened. We used to have a lot of these shims here.
They probably get pitched every time.
0110, yeah. They're magnetic,
You need to order more.
but these things come in handy. Say you got a piece of plywood and you want to dado it into something, and the plywood's not always exactly 3/4 or 5/8 or whatever. And the shims are meant. We had a pile of these. I don't know.
I'll see if we
Shims are
can
meant
order 'em.
to, you could space it out and fine tune your cuts, whatever you want. But I don't know.
They gotta be here somewhere.
We had a whole
I thought
set.
we had metal ones that went in there.
No, we had I don't know who lost them or threw them out. If someone made a cardboard one, see? But anyway, that's what that was all about. Because sometimes, in some project, you want a precision thing and you want the plywood to fit into something or your board. and the dado isn't quite cutting right, you might have to take a blade out and add some shims to make it cut exactly right. So on this, the inside has these little cutouts in it, and then the outside is all flat. So you know that one will go there. And then depending on how thick you want, these are each an eighth, and each of these are an eighth. And there's one that's and this one's a 16th.
And all the carbide tips slightly overlap each other.
Yeah, there's usually a big slotted area in here where I put the one tip. See that big area, the big gullet that's
Right.
doesn't have anything in there. I'm just going to put a couple of these on now, I guess. Make sure they're facing the right way. Hello. Someone's trying to call me. Okay, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be 5/8, I guess, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I put a dado. I put that in that wide area. Now sometimes there's not enough room.
Ooh, John.
Not enough room for this washer in here and the nut. I think that's okay, but if you're doing another one, I don't think there's enough thread to thread this on, and I don't use that.
You don't put the washer on if it's too thick.
Yeah, yeah. If it's too thick, there's not enough threads for the nut to hold it. You can also this is a blade stiffener. You could use this, and then sometimes if there's not enough room, you just have to use the nut. It'll be okay. I'm gonna put a blade stiffener on this one. Gives more room for the nut to grab, and it'll still hold it in there nicely. Anything's narrower than this, I think you could use the regular washer. Otherwise, I would use that. Tighten this up. There we go. Now, in order for the electronics to work in here and this thing to stop when it's supposed to, it needs to be a certain distance from the brake. And it's about this distance right here. So that's what this is for. So, there's a lot of gap there right now between the blade and the brake. So this is this yellow, big yellow nut up here. Turn to the right, it brings it closer. Now this one, it's all the way up is, it's still a little space, but it's as far as it goes. If it works okay, if it's not close enough, this green light won't be on.
It was blinking red while you were working on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it will. I'll touch my finger on it. See, it's breaking red.
Yeah.
That means it won't start. If it's ever blinking red, let me push this down and see what happens. Down is the other way. Let me put it way down for the fun of it. See what happens. Usually I thought it wouldn't work when it's far away, but I don't know why it worked like that. But anyway, it needs to be For some reason, the dado blade, maybe it's because it's been sharpened over the years, it got smaller. It's, you know, not quite this thickness, but it's pretty close. So that's all we can do. So I'll put it there. And shut this little trap door. And then there's this, the dado insert. One thing about cutting something with this now, you can't just use the markings on here. It's off
It's
now.
different, right?
The dado blade is wider than the saw blade, so this tape on a fence is adjusted toward a regular saw blade. So if you put this on, say an inch, it's not going to be an inch.
Can be like
Yeah, see.
3/4 to half.
So what you're going to have to do, yeah, is a little bit over half. So you're going to have to measure, you know, what you want. If you want it on an inch, or I'm just going to do approximately here. But
And it's often good to do a test piece.
yeah,
If you want to see how deep it cuts
and make sure you got your
measurement right.
measurements right. I'll just leave it there for now. Yeah, I'm not going to cut that deep. Okay. All right. Say I wanted this dado, and I don't want to go all the way to the end.
You had to do that on those shelves.
Yeah. I actually put some marks here when I did the shelves. Say it was. I marked on here where when I did those shelves for this job. You know where the blade was.
Where it was cutting.
Where it was cutting. And what I did was I counted how far down to get the blade out of the way, how many turns of the handle. So here, 1, 2, 3. I'll do 4. And so I'll put that on my mark. Turn the saw on. If I need to stop at this end, I'll stop at a mark I have here. Wait for it to stop. And so that's how you do it. Stops. If you need that cut out all the way, you can always chisel that out. Just gotta go slowly when you're cranking it up, because that's
So you
good.
don't
That's
bind
wants to throw the wood at you.
Or lift up the wood.
Yeah, or lift it up. Make sure you hold it good. And just crank it up slowly. Once you get there, you're good to go. And then sometimes you might be using you might have to put some dados across something. You'd be using this cross cut jig. That one has the narrow holes for just the blade.
That's for the dado.
Yeah, sort of dado too. And so put pieces in there and put them in here and cut across. This is nice if you wanted to make a box joint. I didn't really set up to do that, but you would, if you're doing a box joint, you might cut out a notch, and then you put a little piece of wood here for the notch to go on, to space it each time. Everybody know what a box joint is?
Yeah.
Kind of like beehives are put together, and they go together like
uh-huh.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an easy way to do that.
You have that stiffener on there?
This stiffener is on there right now.
You gotta be careful when you're raising the blade.
Yeah, if you need a lot more depth, that stiffener kind of restricts how high you can go.
Be in the way.
Yeah, here it's starting to raise up the. So sometimes you may not be able to use that. Sometimes you might just have to go with the nut and not have that there. But that feels a little better to have it there if we could use it.
You want to show them about the if you cut pressure treated or crappy
Okay.
stuff?
Come over here and look at this. Now, if you're cutting something that's wet or pressure treated or might have metal in it or something,
A little pin nail.
and you don't want the destroy the brick, that costs I don't know how much that is.
Over $100.
It's $100 a break.
Almost $100. To turn it off, when it's in this mode, there's a little key on the side. You might want to watch on this side. There's a little key on the side. You turn it on, and you wait for that light to flash red, and it just did. Then you turn the blade on. Wait for it to flash red again, and now the safety's off. Now it's not off anymore.
Right.
As soon as you shut it off, the safety's back on it.
Okay.
So you turn it, you see the red light flash, and then you turn it on. You see the red light flash again and turn the key off, and now the safety's off of it.
Okay.
And be more careful then because it won't stop anymore.
No.
Now you don't have your safety. It's gonna keep going.
Yeah, so you're checking out everything as a plywood truck, but we can.
Yeah, after this, I think we're done with this.
Take your little flat,
I mean, I don't-
raise the thing up. Take your brake off first, and I'll take this off.
No, get the blade out of your way.
Alright.
You don't want to try to take that off. You get yourself all.
Alright. I'm gonna drop this, I guarantee you. Dropped it.
It's okay.
I knew that was gonna happen. You're all watching.
We're all watching you.
Yeah,
Why don't you go find the little magnet dipper?
We had one. I don't know where it is.
Saw one in Jamie's room.
What, a magnet thing?
You get it?
Yeah, grab it. It'll be easier to get it out if you grab that, I think. What do we have?
So,
Prime
there's
plywood.
3 of these.
Oh, that stuff for the backs?
No, backs aren't coming until next week. We'll do everything last minute.
So, I believe the blade turns towards you.
Yeah.
Don't put that on yet.
Okay.
You gotta take the brake out.
Take the brake out.
Alright, see?
That's not getting your way.
Track door.
Okay.
Alright.
Kind of on an angle here.
Switch your brakes.
It's underneath here. Put the dado away. And the brake goes back underneath with the box.
That box, see, there's a box up there.
Oh, gotcha.
There you go. The dado brake on it.
And this can go back down there too.
Is that right?
This is a magnet thing. You want to see if we can get the nut out of there before you put that back in there?
Yeah. Can I get it?
What do you do?
Dropped it.
Because we were watching him.
You dropped the nut?
Use your
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah, one of them.
Drop the nut. You're making a noisy. Nervous, CT? Yeah.
Alright. So next you just go back to your blue. Just back
Judy got the spacer on there? Yep.
Getting contact inches for somebody else?
Medicine cabinets.
Okay.
on.
Your
Shut
spacer thing
trap.
with the brake?
Tight, that's it. Tight.
You're okay. No, you can do. You want? Is it tight on there now?
Yes.
That's what you want, and then you want to put your spacer in there.
That's way too tight.
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to.
Right there.
Now on the brake part, is it on the angle or on the bottom section of the brake that you want to measure?
Yeah, show me that.
Near the bottom.
Is it right down at the bottom there?
Yeah, right down in here.
And you're too tight.
The teeth. See, I can't get it in there.
Yeah, it's
in
too
the
tight.
tooth. Alright.
So we gotta loosen it.
So you gotta loosen it.
Like this.
Yeah. There you go. You got it now. That's good.
And just leave it there.
Yep. And then leave it there. And you should be tightening that back down. And keep going.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey John, show me how to tighten this. This.
The gray handle.
That'll get tight.
And just turn it
That's
down.
the thing that holds the,
Is this thing supposed to be in here?
this, I don't know what that's.
It's a shim.
Someone dropped a shim in there.
Yeah.
This holds the, when you put the guard on, this holds the guard.
Oh, okay.
Just
Doesn't have to be
just
tight.
drop, get that dropped out of the way.
Yeah, that ain't coming out of there. That's stuck in there good.
That's how you put it back on and don't drop it down.
Okay.
So you don't want to put it where, yeah, so you want to so don't put it there, put it like in between two. Don't put one there, because where there's a bump, put it like in between two, and it's easy to slide in.
See how it's not down? What's going on? There we go.
That
Okay.
slides in.
Yep.
You tell the little door. Ah, you didn't
No,
close the
I
little
didn't.
door.
No.
There you go.
Pay attention to what you're doing, John. Okay.
That's it.
And they all live there.
Test it, make sure it starts.
There. That goes in there.
Okay.
And these will fit on that little hook. Like that.
Okay.
This can go anywhere. Magnet.
Okay.
Does it work though? Did he set it up right?